It is government's job to look after all aspects of relating to security or corruption or any wrongdoing. If there is any criminality relating to whether this is a currency thing or the conduct of Mr. Rahul Gandhi and the kind of international players or international conspiracy. So what actually Nishikant Dubey and Sambit Patra are saying in effect, and those who are protesting about that currency, that government of India is not doing its duty. It's failing and it's faltering. They're not saying it in words, but by implication it means that there is very little, I would say, a kind of understanding or coordination between the political wing, that being BJP, and the government. So government is very indifferent. Government is doing its business. Government doesn't want to get into it where they should. So I would expect the Home Minister or Prime Minister or Foreign Minister, Finance Minister making statement about it, because it comes to their domain and it's their responsibility. What the BJP is doing is running a political charge sheet against the Congress. So there is a trust deficit, and there, very interestingly, I see that because I am privy to the kind of allegations they are leveling. So where the facts and fiction, fantasy, everything is mixed up. The BJP or by Government of India, Mr. Adani and his corporate house is very much capable of defending. And mind you, whatever is there, so to say, evidence, it's in the realm of allegations. Nothing has been proved. So it should be what you are asking is something very serious question, because you see the BJP may be having problem with the Congress, but to accuse them and accuse Rahul Gandhi of being anti-national and treason and sedition and all these are all, as I said, it's a grave crime, and this is against the grain of our own country. But people expect Mr. Modi to have a greater and better benchmark in terms of having a debate, because he's very popular and he's a supreme leader. He's been winning election. So why should he be stonewall anything? He should be transparent, whether it's about a corporate house or anyone, and show opposition their place.
And this obviously raises a lot of questions again on the government, not on Abhishek Manu Singhvi, according to you.
Yes, Mr. Singhvi may be a victim.
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. Protests over Gautam Adani continue to rock the parliament. Yesterday, you saw Congress leaders wearing jackets on which it was written, Modi-Adani ek hai. And this morning, as in today, you saw Congress leaders wearing masks on which it was written, Modi-Adani bhai bhai. But what has happened between yesterday and today? Let's just take a look. Now, Sambit Patra held a press conference yesterday, and a hard-hitting one where he said that Rahul Gandhi is one of the biggest traitors. Then Nishikant Dubey, the BJP Lok Sabha MP, speaks inside Parliament, and he tries to draw parallels between Rahul Gandhi, George Soros, and the OCCRP, that they are carrying out an anti-India agenda, and that is being supported by Rahul Gandhi. Then today, what happens in Rajya Sabha? Today, all of a sudden, Jagdeep Dhankar, who's a Rajya Sabha chairperson, he comes and announces that there were wads of currency notes which were found under seat number 222, which is the seat allocated to Congress leader Abhishek Manu Singhvi. And then that becomes a big, big controversy. And BJP raises a hue and cry saying that this is against the integrity of Rajya Sabha, and Congress has to answer as to how these notes landed up there. Whereas Abhishek Manu Singhvi has already given a clarification saying that he just had a 500 rupee note in his pocket yesterday. He spent just 33 minutes inside Parliament, where 3 minutes were in the House and 30 minutes where he had a lunch in the Parliament premises. So he has also said that I'll welcome the probe and let there be an enclosure made around the seats of the Rajya Sabha MPs and the Lok Sabha MPs, so that, those enclosures can be locked and the keys can be carried back by the the MPs themselves. So there are huge question marks as to who is doing what, how on earth did these currency notes land up, from where, and JP Nadda has already asked for a probe in this. But the point is that will there be an honest probe? And does this all link to the Adani protests? Just to dilute the protests over Adani, is this a ploy by BJP? Because Congress has been saying that we are coming up with innovative protests on Adani, wearing a jacket, wearing a mask today. So BJP is also trying to think of innovative methods to dilute this whole protest. Yesterday, by a press conference by Sambit Patra, Nishikant Dubey making a statement inside house, and today here you have a currency notes controversy creeping up. So where is this all heading to, and where does it all take us, as far as the parliament is concerned? Joining me now is veteran journalist and author Rasheed Kidwai, joining us this evening. Thank you so much, Mr. Kidwai, for joining. It's wonderful to have you on the program. And this controversy around the currency notes inside Rajya Sabha, how would you view this? And does this look like a ploy, a drama, or a scene which has been created to dilute the protests over Adani?
Nilu, it's a very serious matter, I would say grave matter, because Parliament is a temple of democracy, and a very senior parliamentarian, a very well-known lawyer, somebody who enjoys a very high reputation in public life. His name is sought to be, brought into it. So I think, without any delay, there should be a probe, a sort of administrative probe by, the person in charge of security, because as we know, this is all, covered by, the CCTV coverage and all, and there should be a thing. By no stretch of imagination, it would look as if Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi would be doing it. As I said, he understands law, he knows, his position. Why would he be doing it? So, but we are not here to give any clean chit to anybody, but ye doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani saaf hona chahiye, in the sense that this, and it is government's responsibility. See, what is being, what the BJP MPs are saying, in a way, Nilu, if you look at it, they are indicting their own government. So, and a person in charge of this the entire parliament security is Speaker Lok Sabha, Chairman Rajya Sabha, who's also Vice President of the country. They must, come out and, get this truth be told. And if somebody is found guilty, then the person should be punished.
You made an interesting point that the BJP MPs are indicting their own government. Could you just explain this point a little, because that's an interesting perspective you're giving?
Yeah. So, Anilu, on both counts, and the other day, that kind of press conferences and the kind of statement that Nishikant Dubey and Sambit Patra was saying, and in this case of, so to say, the money currency finding its way. Look, it is government's job to look after all aspects of relating to, security or corruption or any wrongdoing. If there is any, criminality relating to whether this is a currency thing or the conduct of Mr. Rahul Gandhi and the kind of international players or international conspiracy. So what actually Nishikant Dubey and Sambit Patra are saying, in effect, and those who are protesting about that currency, that government of India is not doing its duty. It's failing and it's faltering. They're not saying it in words, but by implication, it means that because there is a sort of conspiracy being hatched, and there is a, all kind of international players are playing havoc with the, Indian political system, and they are doing all wrongdoings against, so to say, against national interests. And similarly, currency is finding its way. As we know, there is a security, multi-layer security in Parliament House. So these are all grave things. These are not, and who is saying it? Who will participate? So it is for Mr. Amit.
Right.
It is for Mr.
You are saying that this is a question mark which the BJP members are raising against their own government.
By implication, they are doing it, and that they are also saying that they may not have that moral courage or sort of have to say that, Mr. Amit Shah must explain, and the foreign minister must explain, and the prime minister must explain. But that is what they're saying, because opposition does not have any instrument or institution to be able to probe these matters. So the idea of probe is with the government, because there are government agencies. There are sort of foreign external agency, the internal intelligence agency, the various police forces, paramilitary forces, whether it's about parliament or outside. So they are the ones who are the best equipped. If they are not doing it, are they sort of hand in glove, or they are what the BJP MPs are saying is wrong, or they are there is a degree of inefficiency and incompetence?
Rashid, has BJP really bitten the bullet by protesting over this issue? They are saying that Congress needs to answer, but whereas if you look at the entire situation, and as you just explained, that this actually, the situation demands the government to answer. As in, how on earth did the currency notes land inside Rajya Sabha? I mean, the Rajya Sabha chairperson coming and saying that these notes were found under so and so seat. And then, BJP tries to make a hue and cry over this, raising protests. The House has got adjourned. And they are saying that, this is all against the integrity of Rajya Sabha. Now, I mean, have they really bitten the bullet? And it will be difficult for BJP to answer on this, even if a probe is being done.
Yeah, I think the BJP is very supremely confident, and there is, of course, there is very little, I would say, a kind of understanding or coordination between the political wing, that being BJP, and the government. So government is very indifferent. Government is doing its business. Government doesn't want to get into it where they should. So I would expect the Home Minister or Prime Minister or Foreign Minister, Finance Minister making statement about it, because it comes to their domain and it's their responsibility. What the BJP is doing is running a political charge sheet against the Congress. So there is a trust deficit, and there, very interestingly, I see that, because I am privy to the kind of allegations they are leveling. So where the facts and fiction, fantasy, everything is mixed up. So it has no basis. As I keep saying, it's like Tota Mehna ki kahani. And the people who are saying it, they are very poorly coached or tutored. I feel bad actually for the BJP spokespersons and all, because they are very good. They are political. They are trading. They have roots in society. But when they are coached, a coached candidate is someone who's has limitations. So the limitations are very much visible, and that is where I think.
What is your political sense about Sambit Patra? You were saying that they are coached, it seems. What about the coaching of Sambit Patra, when all of a sudden he decides to hold a press conference and call Rahul Gandhi a traitor, and a traitor of the biggest traitor of all the times? That's what he says in a press conference. Now, what would you say to that? A leader of the opposition, Sambit Patra is a Lok Sabha MP, and calling leader of the opposition the traitor of the biggest time. So has he been coached by the BJP to say this?
Well, I don't know who's been coaching Mr. Sambit Patra, but what I'm saying is, you see, there is no point in politics, and since I have got over 3 decades of covering parliament and politics, you see, there is no point Nilu trying to be more Christian than Christ. It doesn't help. It actually boomerangs. So what is happening is, by implication, Mr. Sambit Patra and Nishikant Dubey are all implicating, pointing, and accusing finger at the government. See, treason is a very serious matter. Sedition, treason, it needs to be substantiated. If Mr. Rahul Gandhi has done anything that's against the interest of the country, then, and if he's going scot-free, I personally think Rahul Gandhi has not done anything wrong. But assuming that he has done any wrongdoing, then he needs to be probed, and he needs to be, and law enforcement agencies cannot make a distinction just because he's Rahul Gandhi. What BJP is trying to do is trying to make a political charge sheet. Tell the people, look, he's the one, he's doing so many wrong things allegedly and getting scot-free. But then the only institution that can against Rahul Gandhi or check him is Government of India, and through this multidisciplinary approach. So they are not doing it. And this is where I find it very problematic and misleading. For instance, this thing was there about that Rahul Gandhi's citizenship. So, I have also lived in England for some time. Anybody who takes a citizenship there, takes an oath. And there is a sort of public, ceremony is held. So is there any evidence that suggests that Mr. Rahul Gandhi ever took that oath? I mean, some of my person I know who has done it. So I can show that picture of him taking oath. So these are all very elementary things that I want to through your program. I want to tell
We
everybody.
all know that there is a citizenship case against him which has been filed already, and it's in the court. And so is BJP trying to create a basis by which there are troubles over his citizenship as well? I mean, look at the. I mean, and just because Rahul Gandhi is very very hard hitting on Gautam Adani, especially post US indictment, there are lots of question marks about this bribe which has been paid to the tune of 2,000 crore. And obviously, the government needs to answer on this. And the opposition is not wrong when it demands a JPC, when it demands the arrest of Rahul Gandhi. Sorry, it demands the arrest of Gautam Adani. So BJP, it seems, is trying to turn the tables and play a vice versa game. So what would you really say to a situation like this? There are some serious questions which the government needs to answer at this point of time.
Absolutely. So, Neelu, first of all, government and BJP as a political party has to make a distinction between BJP, Narendra Modi government, and the kind of, a corporate house that you're mentioning, being Adani's. So, Adani cannot or should not be defended by the BJP or by Government of India. Mr. Adani and his corporate house is very much capable of defending. And mind you, whatever is there, so to say, evidence, it's in the realm of allegations. Nothing has been proved. So it should be what you are asking is something very serious question, because you see the BJP may be having problem with the Congress, but to accuse them and accuse Rahul Gandhi of being anti-national and treason and sedition and all, these are all, as I said, it's a grave crime, and this is against the grain of our own country. We are not Putin's Russia, where dissent and opposition is considered as anti-national. And many other countries where there is a controlled democracy. We are not a controlled democracy. We are very proud of our things. I just, through your program, let me remind your viewers that when Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and this was Mr. Atal Bihari's own admission, he was not well, and he required a special sort of treatment. Rajiv Gandhi as Prime Minister sent him on a parliamentary delegation, even when Mr. Vajpayee was not member of parliament, to go to US and get his treatment done. And when did Mr. Vajpayee spoke about it? When Rajiv Gandhi died, when there was an obituary, this thing was going on, session was there in Parliament. He made this revelation. And similarly, when when Mr. Vajpayee did the nuclear test, Pokhran test as we call it, he gave full credit to PV Narasimha Rao. He said, look, Narasimha Rao wanted to do it because of US pressure, he could not do it, but I give him full credit. Now, these are our democratic credentials of the BJP also, I would say. And what are they doing? So what I'm saying is, either they should prove that Mr. Rahul Gandhi is indeed guilty of compromising, so to say, nation sovereignty and all, or leave this out. You may have problem with Rahul Gandhi, as Rahul Gandhi has problem with the BJP. This is for the voters. So some voters gave 240 seats to one political party and 99 to another party. Stick to that. But ये मतलब मतभेद को मनभेद ना बनाए. We are not, as a civilization, we don't like this kind of thing, and that is where I see that this kind of allegations, particularly coming from the ruling party, is more unfortunate, because they have the capacity and infrastructure to nail if there is any wrongdoing. If they are not doing it, then either they are inefficient or they want to hoodwink people of India.
What do you think? I mean, does it look clearly like a ploy by the BJP so that the protests over Adani don't get any kind of visibility? And now, since they made a hue and cry about this currency notes controversy, obviously the Godi media or the conventional media has been just reporting on that, not on the protests of Congress. So now they've given a reason for the Godi media to make bigger headlines now.
So I think what the BJP is doing, because their comfort level is very high, so they are doing these kind of, I would say, diversionary things, or things that are, I mean, monkey trick, where somebody may find it a little offensive, but these things are happening. And this is also because, as somebody was
told, a monkey trick to you, the controversy, the currency notes controversy.
No, I'm saying that if the implication is this, that your parliamentarian is coming with, loads of money and, having some kind of easy money, etc., then you see the implication is that basically you're saying कि तुम्हारी कमीज भी हमारी कमीज की तरह गंदी है. But that is not, as I said, this is not first of all a dignified way of responding, and this is not the best way to respond to a political situation. I am saying that this is what I find it, Nilu, a very I would say fascinating also, as well as unfortunate, that the BJP is taking a leaf out of Indira Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi's grandmother, on all the things that wrongdoing. When Indira Gandhi was all powerful, what was that? There was anything, she would say foreign hand. Okay. Now,
That's
exactly when I heard Samit Patra and Nishikant Dubey and all, I said, my God, they have also got a foreign hand. Now, the foreign hand in this age, 2000, you see, Indira Gandhi did it in 70s, and the same people they used to mock. I remember in Parliament House, Nilu, one member of Parliament, Pilu Modi, came and he said, I am a CIA agent. It was written there. Okay, because Indira Gandhi was always saying CIA is doing this, CIA is doing that. What I'm saying is, if the US is, or institutions in US or elements in US are doing it, Mr. Modi has done this. What was it called? Namaste Trump, or there was another slogan was there. So there is a lot of very good. We have very at various level, at bureaucratic level, at diplomatic level, at political level, we have a lot of goodwill and alignment with the US. Take it up and ask them that why you're doing is something, in India. We are not Afghanistan. We are not this. So these are the things, but that is not being done. So therefore, I am saying this is a typical that Indira Gandhi syndrome, which Indira Gandhi paid a heavy price, and the BJP or Jansangh, Bharati Jansangh, or the major, India allies of now, they're opposed. They're doing the same thing.
So, Rashid, what is your sense? Right. Now, you've seen decades of journalism. According to you, what is really happening at the moment after this big controversy? That is Prime Minister Narendra Modi trying to copy Indira Gandhi outrightly? As you said, that they've just taken a leaf out of what has happened in the previous years when there was a Congress government driven by Indira Gandhi. So is Narendra Modi a copycat, if I may very candidly ask you, of Indira Gandhi?
Nilu, I would say that is your inference, and many people may be thinking. What I look at it as a student of Indian politics, that that power, like it was a very famous quote also, that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So when you're very comfortable, when opposition is down and out and demoralized, you start thinking that you are supreme. You, in the sense, as a political party or an individual or a formulation, and then you come up you blur the fine line between the Indian state and government of India. So the Indian state cannot be, my sense of loyalty and belonging to the Indian state is absolute, but my sense of belonging or loyalty to government of India is conditional. And I have a right to question as a citizen, as a journalist, as a concerned person, as a stakeholder. But the BJP has blurred that line, and that is why this narrative is built, because the BJP thinks it can, get away with it. And that is where I think the opposition is also, in a sense, on the defensive. Because in the process, what they have done is that they are not able, their narrative doesn't find way. You see, in democracy, everything gets settled by verdict. So, like Maharashtra verdict came. So people said whatever the issues they were raising, it's settled, which is actually not correct. But that is how we look at it, because that's a barometer. So there is a lot of lesson, Nilu, for the opposition to learn. And of course, a bigger this thing, as I said, from the life of Indira Gandhi. After all, what is the legacy of Indira Gandhi? If I say 1,000 good things about Indira Gandhi, then someone or other or myself, we're going to bring the matter of emergency. So that serves as a blot when she became an absolute dictator. No amount of goodwill can whitewash that. So I think it's a lesson. It's not about Mr. Modi, but all political leaders, individuals who are having power and authority, they must be a lot more humble and understand that dissent is very much part and parcel of democratic process.
Are you seeing this parliament session being washed out the way it is heading? Washed out in the sense that these protests on Adani will continue. Do you see a continuum where BJP will evade answers? BJP will not try to answer on any of the counts, all those counts which have been raised in the US indictment report. They will not come and explain. They will not have a discussion. They will not arrest Adani, of course. So, what does the opposition do now? What should be the next step by the opposition?
So, Nilu, theoretically, purely from a political science point of view, the job of running house is with the government. It is government's responsibility. Opposition
Yes.
cannot come and run the house. So therefore, if government is not serious about it, if they think that in the din they can get their some key bills passed and make a political point, etc. And this is something I'm not just holding Mr. Narendra Modi or BJP responsible for it. This has been a pattern that was there in I would say from 80s and 90s. So it's a 3 decade old model that when you are in power, you don't give any importance to the to parliament as a forum where you can have your point of view. So what Mr. Modi has been doing in last 10 years, that was done by Manmohan Singh government and earlier by Deve Gowda government, Vajpayee government, Narasimha Rao government, all kind of governments I have seen. So I will not say that only Mr. Modi is guilty, but people expect Mr. Modi to have a greater and better benchmark in terms of having a debate, because he's very popular and he's a supreme leader. He's been winning election. So why should he be stonewall anything? He should be transparent, whether it's about a corporate house or anyone, and show opposition their place. So people, even those those people who are politically opposed to him, would say, look, this is a man, इसने दूध का दूध पानी का पानी कर दिया. But we don't see that, and therefore I feel disappointed that it is actually democracy that is getting weaker and compromised. You can find a lot of faults with opposition, but you need opposition. See, the silence is only in the graveyard. In a dynamic society, there's going to be a lot of noises. And in India, whether you look at joint family system or any other, system from a panchayat to parliament, this kind of, tutu meme is very much part and parcel. And Mr. Modi knows this and everybody knows. But it's just that politicians who are in power, there is a tendency that they think that they're going to stay there forever. And therefore, the managers advise that just stonewall everything, block it. And there is a lack of transparency in governance.
True. But my last question to you is, and I'll go back to that phrase which you use, that's called the monkey trick. Today's currency notes controversy, does it actually appear like a monkey trick?
Well, I think the probe is the best answer. Why I'm saying, because it's a very high, highly secured place. It's also, as I said, temple of democracy. Imagine if a wrongdoer brought money or money was planted. Whichever way you look at it, it requires a sort of thorough probe, urgent probe. See, somebody may that what I'm saying is I'm picking holes on. No, it's not. I've written a book called that Nagarwala scam 90 when somebody had mimicked Indira Gandhi's call and got 60 lakh rupees. So what I'm saying is that these kind of thing where there is a criminality, because anything I would say in a cash over 20,000 rupees or so, it needs to be explained. So the income tax and all agencies come in. So therefore, without any delay, but opposition cannot order a probe. If Mr. Singhvi wants to order a probe, he cannot. So therefore, this should be called out because it's in public sphere. Before tomorrow newspaper comes out, I think a probe should be ordered.
Right. And this obviously raises a lot of questions again on the government, not on Abhishek Manu Singhvi, according to you.
Yes, Mr. Singhvi may be a victim. I just, you see my influence because maybe I know him. As I said, I told a friend of mine that anybody who knows Mr. Singhvi would vouch that he would either not be carrying money or he would not part it. If he has it, he will hold on to it. So he's not a person who's known as a spendthrift or who would just would not care about money that he's carrying or belongs to him. So obviously, dal mein kuch kala hai, and everything it must come clean.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Rashid, for joining on HW News. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.